Okay. And that's how you get a rad roach out of a trash can. Welcome to Sanctuary, the properly named first location of Fallout 4, where there is a lot of loot, which you're going to need all this loot to make it very far in the wasteland. However, in Sanctuary, it's not all fun and games because there are 11 things that can kill you that you'll have to deal with before you go looting. Codsworth, if you talk to him, will deal with 6 bloatflies. There are also 4 rad roaches hidden around Sanctuary, and 1 makeshift bomb. I'm going to show you guys the locations of all of these first so that you don't get yourself killed when you're going through the looting paths that I will show you. So like I said, Codsworth probably already killed the 6 bloatflies. There should be 3 in this house over here. That's 1 on the left here. Yep, that's 2, and on the right here. Nope. Where is this one? On the left. That's 3. They aren't always in the exact same place because they are living creatures. Now that I talked to Codsworth, I can show you that there's another 1, 2, and 3 blowflies in this house. So that's 6 out of the 11 things that can kill you in Sanctuary. The other 5 are going to be on the other side of Sanctuary over towards the bridge. I'm going to put a level into a perk. I'm going to put the level into Idiot Savant, which if you followed my guide before, you should be level 2 and have a perk point, and you should have enough luck to put a level in this skill. This is going to give me a chance of getting some extra XP from killing these rad roaches that are in this house. There's 2 of them. The first one you can just shoot from the doorway. And then when you go inside, there's going to be another rad roach that's going to come out of the chair and trash can sitting over here in the corner. There it is, and got it. Now let's move down the line to this next house over here. This is where the makeshift bomb is. It's sitting on top of a safe. So if you didn't notice it, you might walk up to the safe and blow yourself up, which in survival mode, it would actually probably kill you. There, I got a level in Idiot Savant, so it was able to give me a proc of that, gave me some extra XP, and that's why I put the level into it. So now that that bomb is gone, there's only 2 enemies left. Over here, by this yellow house near the bridge, there is a pile of wood. If you approach it, a rad roach will come out. And if you go over to this blue house on the other side, there's going to be a big rad roach that comes out at the doorway. Now we're going to start the looting. Over here by the bridge, there is a can that says trash on it. So if you go up to this, there's going to be 2 fragmentation grenades in it. That will always be there, and there is also a chance of getting something else. In this case, it's Mentats, which is fantastic for me because I'm going to need that a little bit later. Now let's head on into this blue house. There should be on the right here, underneath this dresser, there is an advanced safe. Now, I don't have a level in lockpicking, so I can't open it, but let me show you guys a little trick that you can do with a safe. So if you went up to the workbench earlier, then you're going to be able to go into it, hit R to scrap, and scrap it. Now, it's going to give you 2 steel, but in the left-hand corner, you got to see there that the contents were transferred to the workbench. So that means that if I go to the workbench, I'm going to be able to access everything that was in that safe without ever unlocking it. And that can be done with any container, not just safes, in any of your settlements, not just Sanctuary. So if you either don't have the skills to open it, or if you don't have the bobby pins on hand, then it's a good trick to know how to do. Now we're going to head on into this yellow house. Now we're going in towards the safe where the makeshift bomb was, but in the shower there's a 10mm pistol if you need one of those. Now you can open up the safe. I'm going to do it without using the trick because I have plenty of bobby pins and I'd like to get the experience.
Yes.
And like I said, I got 5 experience from it. That's pretty nice. Now, on the opposite side from this safe, across the hallway, there is a thing of medics sitting on top of a cabinet. Now let's head on over to the blue house that is next to it. Head on in and open up the refrigerator and you'll see that there is always a Nuka cherry and some yum yum deviled eggs. And when you go down the hallway and go to the left, there is a first aid kit. Go in here on the right and you can open up this suitcase.
Nice.
And there we go. I was lucky enough to get one of these hats that's going to give me an extra intelligence. You don't always get this, but it's really nice to have. Now, give me a second. I'm going to put on that hat so that if I open up anything else later, I might get a little bit of extra XP. This blue house with the car next to it, the only thing that's worth taking is the cap stash that's over by the window as soon as you walk in. Making our way down the line, we're going to go into our house. On the counter, there is a Grog the Barbarian comic that you got to see earlier in the game, and this will give you extra critical damage with unarmed and melee attacks. It's plus 5%. That will always affect you, it doesn't cost anything, but you are able to sell it later because it has a high value and it costs nothing to carry it in terms of carry weight. This room's pretty good. This is Sean's old room. There is a Blast Radius board game which actually has radioactive material in it, which means that kids probably shouldn't have been playing with it. And underneath this dresser, this is probably the best item that you can get in Sanctuary, arguably the best item in the game, and this is your special book. This lets you put an extra point into any attribute you want as long as you didn't already have it maxed out. So I'm going to put that into endurance for this run because I want to have higher health and I want to be able to sprint more. And that's all I wanted to loot from our house, so we're gonna head on over to the yellow house that's next to where we live. And in here, head on over to the refrigerator and you'll see that there's always a Nuka-Cola, pork and beans, and an empty milk bottle. Remember, empty milk bottles do the same thing as a beer bottle would. You're able to fill it at any water source to get either dirty or purified water depending on what the water source was, which is nice to have in survival. There's bubblegum sitting on top of the counter, and then if you head back, there is a safe in the corner by the bed.
Got it.
And like I said, I got 6 XP from that one because I'm wearing this nice little hat that I had found. Now we're gonna head over to this blue house. This is probably one of the best houses in Sanctuary because there is a cigar box sitting on the table. Head to the right, there's a cap stash next to a toolbox. And then if you head into this back room, there is an ammo container in the corner. And if you crouch over here by this dresser, you'll see that there's a men tab. We're gonna head out to another thing about this house. We're going to go behind to the root cellar. This is one of the places with the best loot in Sanctuary. So now that we're inside, you can see there are aluminum cans, there's tin cans, there's all sorts of stuff. There's food sitting around, there's bottles, there's purified water, and there's containers. The gold bars, because 1, 2, 3 gold bars sitting over here next to this man safe. Now this is not actually in the range of the workshop because it's actually a different area, so you aren't able to open up the safe unless you had lockpicking. Let me show you those gold bars. If you head over to junk, then you can see that I have 3 gold bars. Each of them are gold 10. They weigh half a pound and they have 450 value. And I'm going to grab the Gwyneth Stout. Having alcohol, which I normally don't use, is actually very good in this run through because we're going to be doing a couple of little tricks with the amount of intelligence that you have. And alcohol lets you lower that. Now as soon as you leave the root cellar, head over to this tree. That'll let you walk straight on up and across the roof to a duffel bag. Now that will have some sort of ammo and usually a weapon in it. Now I'm full on carry capacity, so I'm going to jump off the roof and then drop a couple of things on the ground. There, now I've dropped some stuff on the ground. I'll come back for it later, but I don't really need it right now. We're going to head over to the blue house over here that we had seen Codsworth in. In the back room on the left, there is a safe that you can open that's underneath the crib with the plastic pumpkin in it. Now that I got that, I'm gonna head over here and crouch down. Now, if I can get it, there's a cigarette carton that's underneath this dresser here. You want to get alcohol if you're playing survival mode and you're using the build that I'm using. And back here, there is a Gwyneth brew and a Gwyneth ale bottle. Let's head on over to the house with the workshop at it. If you didn't activate the workshop yet, you can go back and get that safe that you weren't able to open earlier. Built a bed back in here because in survival mode you can only save in one way, and I wanted to build a bed so that I'd be able to sleep in it and save the game. In this house there's not really anything that's worth mentioning that's guaranteed, but you are able to go to several containers and take stuff out of them. And the next thing is down by the river in a toilet. There is a first aid kit, which in this case it gave me quite a lot of good stuff, so it's definitely worth checking. With this knowledge you should be out to a great start for tackling the wasteland. Like I said, I'm playing the game mode in survival. I'm doing a full walkthrough to teach you guys how to make it through survival. So if you liked this video, then like this video. Leave a comment below about anything you want to see about Fallout 4, any questions you may have about technology or any other games you want to see me play. And don't forget to subscribe to learn HowToTech.
I feel paralyzed.